liked it. Next, we're going to move on to WandaVision. So, I think we have a lot of Marvel fans here. So, what did everyone think of WandaVision? I'll make it an open discussion.
WandaVision!
Spectacular!
WandaVision!
It's been so long.
It's been a long time.
So good.
Oh God!
Wink,
When I heard that
wink.
Marvel
So
Studios logo,
good.
Could I have a
okay.
could I have a theory on the screen?
Yes, I see your theory.
I see it.
I like it.
Which one are you saying? The dog theory or the helmet theory?
The helmet, Grim Reaper.
Gotcha. Because
Yeah.
people are saying that the dog bone is about the dog.
Spell
coming
out
in.
for the audience what you're talking about.
Oh yes,
I'm confused.
I have a screen. Keep forgetting. I have a actually no, I won't. Check out our YouTube channel on Saturday.
There we go.
Hell yeah, boy!
Put a day, the weekend.
A day. Check out our YouTube. Thank you. Visuals.
Yes.
My face. It's beautiful.
When it comes to theories for WandaVision,
Whoa.
I have a theory.
That was so loud.
Let's hear it, Ben.
I
Go
was
ahead.
Sorry.
Please, I need theories.
Sorry. I can't control my hands. I move my hands, and my mic is in my hands, so I apologize for that. But a theory that I have is that, I love the foreshadowing of Mephisto. You could kind of, like, there was references to the devil in the first episode that I didn't really see anyone pick up on that. I was like, Mephisto. And then, when that guy started choking and that woman was, like, laughing, that guy was made choke because he was asking WandaVision questions that made them question why they were there, And Mephisto did not want them doing that. So Mephisto was like, bye, I'm going to make you choke now. Anyways, what I'm thinking is something that could happen, and it seems very Feige-like, is if Wanda is making this world and she has her twins, and if at the very end this world is like destroyed, if her twins die with the world, and then if that's what makes Wanda go insane and makes the multiverse. Now, it will be a waste of those two characters, but I'm sure they'd come back. I doubt that this is what's going to happen. But it is one theory I have, that those twins could die with the world, and that's what makes her go insane.
I have to second that and agree. I think it'll be something similar to that because I think that will be her, like you say, her cause to open up the multiverse is to go and find her children in another universe is what I think is going to be the situation. I have literally like 4 pages of Easter eggs here that I needed to talk about, but I can't really do them all. Can I just
Wait,
go through
George,
some of
you
them?
go next. You go next.
Let me just do some of the quick Easter. Well, first of all, I loved WandaVision. I tweeted that I really enjoyed the sitcoms as a standalone thing. I was watching them and I was like, do you know what? I could just watch these as a sitcom. And then when the Easter eggs came up, I was like, oh wait, this is actually about something else. So some of the Easter eggs I picked up on, which probably a lot of you did as well, was the house number 2800, which is of course the what the MCU's multiverse Earth is called. It's Earth 2800. So that's obviously, I think, a little nod to that. Of course, we're going to talk about Agnes with the possible Agatha Harkness possibility that she is that, and maybe she's there looking after Wanda, or it could be one of those situations where she's trying to keep her there purposely. Helicopter, I don't know if she shrunk that herself when that helicopter appeared, because obviously we heard the knock-in. Sorry, this is referring to the second episode where the knock-in kept happening and it turned out to be the tree, but I think it possibly was the helicopter trying to break through whatever is keeping them in that area. And I think it was either there to try and rescue Wanda or possibly rescue Geraldine in quotation marks.
Could I ask a question for what people think? Is Wanda's world, because we know that sword agents are kind of like near. So is it like the Shimmer and Annihilation? It's just this big dome that has trapped people in it, and it's just taking up area. So sword is like there outside, the same way that people were in Annihilation. Is it like the Shimmer and it's like a real thing, or is it all in Wanda's mind?
I'm thinking it's all in Wanda's mind because she did say.
Coping
Can we talk about
mechanism.
spoilers for the second episode? I mean, if it's a spoiler,
Do
that
it.
is.
Do it.
Yeah.
When she
Spoil.
saw the beekeeper, or as I thought it was the bee man, but it was the beekeeper, and she said no. And then I feel like once she realized that it was an outside force coming in, like, for example, I think that which is not true, it's not going to happen, but I think at this moment she's on the hospital bed having a mental breakdown and she's like in a coma and this is all happening. And then someone's like injecting her to wake up. or whatever doctors do, and this person that comes in her realm, she says no to it, and then she rewinds as almost like to glitch him out, and that's why I think she wants to stay with Vision, keep the world as it were. But at the first episode, she wasn't as aware, like Vision was, that they were trapped in a way.
I don't agree. I think it
It's
is
called a theory.
only because I know.
Called
I know. I think the only reason I don't agree is because we've seen shots in the trailer that make it very obvious.
Well, the trailers lie,
No, the trailers lie, but
especially with Marvel.
having seen the first 2 episodes, they wouldn't be trying to get into something if it's her mind in a hospital bed.
Yeah.
No, but I'm thinking because she, like, I'm thinking as, which to me it seems like it's the only thing, that she grew up in that world of sitcoms and she knows laughter tracks and every type of reaction, and whenever
She
that's
grew
why I
up
think
in
did she?
Sokovia with no parents and signed
look at her
up for
accent.
trials. I don't think Strucker was playing like the Brady Bunch while she was in a jail cell being tested on. I'm just gonna go out on a limb. I don't think he was doing that.
That's right. No, you're right. Yeah. But I mean, she did have a period of time when she was, I'm sorry for taking up time, but I think she had a period of time when she was free and in the Avengers that she must have watched TV. I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
I personally think that because everybody's been mentioning like the For the Children, how that was being repeated and repeated, almost like culty. I think that somebody sinister, whether that's Mephisto, whether that's Agatha Harkness, which I think is pretty much confirmed, also because she wears the same pendant in every single episode. Every other costume, things change, but Kathryn Hahn's always wearing the pendant, which Agatha Harkness wears in the comics. So I think
also, just before you move on, Antony, can we just talk about how amazing Kathryn Hahn is?
Yes. Oh my
You're
God.
talking about how amazing everybody
Yes.
is?
Amazing.
Yes.
So good.
Everyone is
Yeah.
so good.
The
Kathryn
world
Hahn
has-
is one of the best
all
actresses
around.
working. If you don't agree with that,
Agreed.
you can stop watching this podcast because she is.
Please don't.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy people are getting to finally see Kathryn Hahn in like a big thing like this. Also, we've been deprived of Paul Bettany comedic genius because he's so good in especially in the second episode when he's gummed up.
Oh,
He's
that
so
was
good.
the best
But
part ever.
Yeah, but anyway, my theory is just I think that some dark force, whoever it is revealed to be, somehow knows that by having children, Wanda will create something very powerful and has forced her into this world to have her have Wiccan and Speed, and Jimmy Woo and Darcy with S.W.O.R.D. are trying to get her out and trying to save her. That's my theory. And I think the whole sitcom thing is more. I think the sitcom thing is more metaphorical for how we find comfort in sitcoms and in television, but it's a false comfort because it's not real. I think I don't think they're going to explain why there's an opening credit sequence. I think that's more metaphorical and for atmosphere than we're going to find out why Vision was a 2D animated Bewitched homage. So, but I trust them completely. Marvel is one of the few people that I will trust completely to deliver on this wacky premise. I did it before and I'll do it again. It's fantastic. Elizabeth Olsen also is amazing. So good.
Yeah.
But did anyone notice there was something in one of the episodes? The first episode, the bottle of wine. Did anyone notice what was on the bottle of wine?
Yes,
in
I
French?
did.
I watched these episodes at 1 a.m., so I was like half asleep.
I saw it twice, and I
I saw it twice.
Yes, I saw the wine bottle.
Translated to English, the wine is called House of Misery.
Or House of M.
Dun, dun.
And shorten misery to just one letter, and it is
House of M.
Whoa.
Oh, and I know everybody's mentioned the Strucker watch, but also if you pick this up, all the commercials we've kind of figured out are like Wanda's backstory. The only thing in color in the first episode is the red beeping thing on the toast, which is the same noise, if you go back to the first Iron Man, that the weapon Stark Industries bomb makes, that beep, 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 which is, of course, how her parents died, a Stark Industries bomb that then she and Pietro watched. So
Yes.
that
Isn't
bomb
it so
is
good that we have Antony?
Yeah.
I know. You guys are really
so
digging
yeah.
deep.
It's literally the first scene of the MCU where you hear that beeping noise. It's when Tony sees that he's being fired on with his own weapons, and that weapon is also what killed the Maximoff parents and what Pietro and Wanda were staying in their home for 3 days because they were worried of it going off, that beeping. So I think the commercials are going to be very important to build up her character and why we assume is going to go insane.
Do you think that that the people in the adverts are supposed to represent her parents?
That's what I was gonna ask.
That was a weird theory, but you know, it could
I
be.
can see it.
Because they're in each one, and I thought, like, I know that it's supposed to be like around the same era, and it's supposed to just using the same, you know, a small cast rather than having completely different people. But I don't know, it's just the way, like, because the way obviously she looked at the camera in the toaster one when obviously it sounded like it was about to go off. She kind of had a look of. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought that was basically like a parody of how old commercials really were. That they look at the product, then look in the camera. That was just me. But like, one question instead of a theory that I'd like to propose or pose to everyone is, what made her? We saw it at Endgame where she was looking at the river or stream with Hawkeye. Like, what made her tick from there to WandaVision? That I hope we get an answer or clue by the end of it.
Well, yeah, we don't even know how Vision is. Again, I think we'll find that out, and I can have complete faith that we will. I do think, though, that the sitcom, like, I wonder if they'll hit all the decades or they'll, like, halfway through the season is when we'll start to figure out what's happening. I don't think we're going to have to wait so long to figure this out.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I think they're going to start with Full House.
There, in a featurette, we did get a clip of Wanda talking to camera, so I
Yeah, so
believe
that's
they
Modern
will
Family.
get. We're gonna get to Modern Family. There's another trailer where you see the exact Modern Family house set. So whether we jump around and we get to 2010, but I think Modern Family will be the last sitcom they hit.
Yeah.
Hold
Which
on,
is
I also because you know
Yeah.
the way in Modern Family, Claire's favorite holiday is Halloween, and there's obviously a Halloween episode. That could be the Modern Family episode.
Ah, so good. Which will be
Also,
fitting.
Well done.
as the only old person here, can I quickly just say, Anya?
What?
He was speaking in Boomer.
What?
Anya.
Taylor Joy, like
Who?
you're gonna have to
Anya.
explain.
Anya from Buffy. All you young people.
Is that Emma
I
Caulfield?
watched Buffy.
Yes.
I don't know who Anya is.
Okay.
Emma Caulfield.
That's why she
Dottie.
looks so familiar.
It's Anya from Buffy.
Why? I was like, she
Who is
looks
she? Was she
so-
Dottie?
Yes.
Dottie, yes.
Yeah.
Dottie, okay.
I kept looking at her
Also-
face and I was like, I've seen you somewhere.
Same with
Also-
Natalia. I was thinking.
Yeah.
We have to mention Teyana Paris, and who's fantastic.
idea.
Her first performance. She's very charming. Can't wait for more of her. And also, I want to give a personal shout out to Deborah Jo Rupp, who plays the Mrs. Hart.
This is hard.
Which has her own sitcom history. She was on that 70s show, and she also was a pivotal character, supporting character in Friends. So I love that they brought her in, and she was really, when she knocked on the lobster door
That was
handle, that was
great.
so, the show is so charming, and yet there's also a foreboding fear. And the fact that they
Yeah.
can balance both is really, really impressive.
I was
I have
gonna
a
say with
question.
Oh,
no,
okay.
go ahead.
okay, with that, with the dinner scene, I really liked it because you could see it was in that scene where you could see like the direction being very different. It would go from like big, wide, like set kind of directing, like how they did in the sitcoms, and then it'd just be more modern, just like scoping in and then doing the zooms and all that jazz. And then when the wife would say stop it, and she would just kind of like be looking at Wanda, and she was like, stop making him choke, please. And then they were just sitting there, and now, oh, that was so good. And oh, I found that one really cute because even though that one was an homage to the Dick Van Dyke Show, I personally grew up watching I Love Lucy. So to me, because I don't have any connection to the Dick Van Dyke Show, I associate a lot with I Love Lucy. So I was like, this is we got a redhead being the lead and being funny as shit. So that's great. Yeah.
I was gonna ask who you guys thought was the voice that was calling to Wanda in the second episode,
It's
because
Randall
Nat-
Park.
Randall
Jimmy
Park.
Woo.
It's
Is it Randall
Woo.
Park?
It's
Randall
Randall Park.
Yes.
100%,
It's Randall
yeah.
Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jimmy
Yes.
Woo,
Okay.
which
cool.
I believe
asked-
Darcy is working with Jimmy Woo. I think.
Oh.
I think that's-
Yeah, well, there's
Um,
a
I believe-
shot of
I
them
believe
together in one of
Darcy-
the
Yeah, yeah.
trailers, isn't there?
Who
I
was
believe
that
that's
one?
Darcy's hands at the end of episode 1. where she's
Yes,
watching
I
the
agree,
TV show.
Joseph.
Yeah.
What?
One
Yeah.
doing what?
Remind
The
us who
person-
Darcy
with
is.
the notepad.
Oh.
At the end of the
okay.
first episode, it pulls
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
That's her hand.
And
Which-
then
Yeah,
the beat.
I asked Grace
go.
about Randall Park, and she was like, "Yeah, that's him."
Okay.
I think
And-
that
Yeah,
Catherine
that's what
Hahn
you think.
has a genuine chance at getting a nomination at the Emmys because of just how sitcom-y her performance is, but then obviously how it's going to evolve. I think if she continues to be a major player, 100%. Like, I'm mainly manifesting this, but I can also maybe see it. Anthony, you're
I'm
muted.
just glad.
No, Ben, I was just going to bring that up because if this goes in best comedy, I think this sweeps. It depends on where the tone goes for the rest of the show. If it goes in drama, it has a harder chance. But I think, like, if it goes in comedy, then Elizabeth Olsen, I think, has a real shot at winning Best Actress. She is doing such great work here, and I agree. Catherine Hahn, Paul Bettany. I mean, yeah, I'll be interested to see where they place it.
Well, this is going to be a miniseries. I don't think this is going to have a season 2 or nothing like that. So, do they categorize miniseries
True.
as drama and comedy, or is it
I
just
don't know.
one whole thing?
I mean,
It
what could
depends on
happen
what
at the end
they-
of Doctor Strange 2 is they maybe euthanize Wanda and they put her back in her Wanda world, and then we have another season of WandaVision.
Euthanize.
Mhm.
Goodness.
I don't think
Yeah,
that's
this
going to
is
happen.
Disney.
Yeah.
Yusuf, I
But
think
for
you're
a
going to
more
ask about the
adult show,
beekeeper.
I mean, Ben's
what?
like premise.
You're going to
that's
ask
kinda
about the
cool.
beekeeper.
Yeah, who do you guys think is, because when I first watched it, when I looked at the Beekeeper, I personally saw Tim Blake Nelson, but I think I'm just crazy. So who do you guys think is in that suit? Do you think it's someone
I
who
saw a
knows or
video.
just
Someone
a
that
random
as
person?
much as
Casual
someone-
fan would know.
Yeah, I saw a
Mendelsohn?
video.
Ben
No, it's not Ben
Mendelsohn.
Middleton.
I have
It
no
looks
clue.
kind of like him.
But
I
just to
I don't think it is him.
just to confirm, they do for the Emmys. They have limited series, and they have lead actress in a limited series and lead actor in a limited series.
Okay.
I can't see supporting.
I think it
You
just
know, I'm
depends
sure
on what
it's
they
theirs.
submitted as, though, because they can submit in
Hmm.
either comedy or limited series.
Because I
Get
saw a
Out.
video straight after Screen Crush did a video about Easter eggs, and they did confirm who was the beekeeper. It was like some sort of actor who's been in past MCU movies, but it's like unknown. Like you don't know who he is exactly.
Oh, okay.
It's the type of thing that I won't really read too much into because it'll drive me. Well, like, it's not that I have a stake in this race, but it's just the kind of thing where I'm not going to figure it out now. We're going to find out eventually. So I'm just going to wait. I'm not going to waste my energy when I could be
Yeah.
thinking about the rhythm section. So I just start thinking about that instead of that, if that makes sense.
I have a question. Do you think this is gonna be bigger than Mandalorian?
Yes.
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 It deserves
already.
to be.
Yes.
It deserves
It
to be.
already is.
That would.
Yes,
I'm
it already
watching
is.
it, so that's something.
It already
You
is,
know-
and it's already better.
Yes, I agree. It's got a better
yeah.
scope, I think, in reach of audiences and also in production value, in my view.
It's more
Okay.
creative. It kind of has more of a spine. Like I
Way
thought
more.
Mandalorian
but
was
also,
really
like,
bland,
the-
especially in the first season.
And when Anthony says way more, you know it's true because he will defend the Mandalorian with his life.
Yeah,
I
but also
love
like the
them
Mandalorian.
both.
Yeah, see?
I love them both. But
Anthony, I love them both
Mandalorian,
too. I love them
No
both.
Let's
too.
disrespect.
I think in
But
the
I'm
end,
gonna
what's
say-
making this show so great already is that it was very clear. Listen, I love Mandalorian, but in season 2, who were you more excited to see? Ahsoka and Luke or Mando and Grogu?
Why would I care
season-
about Mando? Like, exactly, the other people.
But so that they don't make
care
the.
about
I felt that the problem about season 2 was that it didn't give them, our main characters, enough time to shine. This show already is so focused on Wanda and Vision so much, and you're going to care about them so much, and then you have all the technical stuff, the respect of television. Like, I don't know if another
Mhm.
show has respected the history of television more than this show seems to be doing, which
I
is
will
really
say
cool.
on that point, Anthony, like, even though I didn't enjoy season 2, I would say that Pedro Pascal's character, he had more range in season 2, so there was more like character development, but comparing that to these 2 episodes of WandaVision, I mean, you get more out of this than the whole 2 seasons. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, Yusuf.
And
you were
also,
saying.
you
One
know,
thing I
a
have to
lot
say
of
is that.
people. No, sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry. No, you go ahead. Go.
Alright.
Go.
I was gonna say, like, a lot of people like to kind of say, oh, everybody gives Marvel a pass and everybody just loves Marvel blindly. But I think, you know, if you really think about it, they've been setting this whole story up for like what, 10, 11 years. So they really
This
have
is the 13th year.
2008. Yeah,
I think the
13th
13th
year.
year of Marvel, 2008.
Yeah. So
Think about this. This has been hyped up since 2019 Comic Con.
Exactly. Like that's what I'm like. Mandalorian and Star Wars and all the other and like DC and everything, they're kind of trying to rush everything. But Marvel has been setting up this story for over 13 years. They have a fan base that cares, and it's not because they just kind of blindly do whatever and get away with anything. It's because they have the things in place to actually make this pay off. Which is why I think this
I
is
have
gonna
to
be
agree
more
with that
successful.
because I only started watching shock horror Marvel 2 years ago because I was a dead DC fan. I would not hear anything. Me and I used to argue all the time. I would refuse to watch any Avengers film, anything. I was like, no. And then I was like, my friend was like, just watch them. And I said, fine. And at the beginning, I was like one of those people that's like, oh, it's not even that good. And then as I got through, my mind was just like, you need to stop pretending now, George. And at this point, I'm just like, oh, this is so good. So
Yeah.
there's someone who's not even been like enveloped in this world since it, 2008 when the first one came out. I'm still like, oh my God, this is great. As someone who was coming from 2 years ago, not even liking anything about
Exactly.
Marvel.
George
when
is correct because
Yeah.
we all know my opinions on Marvel. Like, I'm not the biggest Marvel fan, but this is my favorite thing they've ever done, and we've only have 2 episodes. Like, this is my favorite superhero film. That's Batman v Superman right there. That's my favorite superhero movie. What Marvel
Mhm.
is doing here is one of like, it's just amazing. And if you think it's not, you're either A, lying to yourself, or B, you don't like creative things. You just like the plain vanilla Avengers Age of Ultron movies from the MCU that do nothing. That's the type of stuff you like. If you like creative stuff, you love WandaVision. WandaVision's amazing. Go
And-
ahead, Yousef.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna piggyback off of what you two said, which is like, if you look at movie to movie in terms of Marvel and DC, they're probably equal. But the problem is Marvel has had it being like, if you take Wonder Woman 1984 just as an example, and compare it to any Marvel movie, as movies themselves, sure, they're kind of comparable. But the fact that Wonder Woman doesn't have that kind of build up to it, like in terms of franchise and the fan base, that's why I think it's not as well
100%.
received. Yeah.
Anyway, so does anyone else have any final thoughts on WandaVision?
I have a few more questions, and this is going to go back to DC with the Snyder Cut. Now, I think it's been confirmed that they're not going to do 6 30-minute episodes as opposed to a big 4-hour movie. They're going to do a 4-hour movie instead.
Yeah.
Okay. So with 1 episode or 2 episodes each, or we got 2 episodes this week, and now we're going to get 1 a week. I think that's going to be a big problem for the Snyder Cut. I think they could go back to the 6 30-minute episodes because you get people talking about it like every week. I think if you do it a 4-hour
Stop.
movie,
Stop
No.
wishing weekly content on us.
Yes.
Yeah, weekly
Fuck weekly
content
content.
sucks.
Binge.
but
The
look
only
what the
reason-
Mandalorian does.
No,
look what
but
the WandaVision
No, no,
does.
no, no,
is
no.
Okay,
people
but
Yeah,
talk
look what
about
they
it.
do.
Yeah.
They infuriate you. You talk about it, sure, but it's still fucking irritating. I'm not
Yeah,
waiting
but here's
6
the
weeks.
problem. The reason that we keep having weekly content, especially on Disney Plus, is because they don't have the content, right? And Warner Brothers, I mean, with Snyder, first of all, I think it was going to be 4 1 hour instead of 6 30-minute.
Yes.
Maybe someone can correct. Yeah.
Yes,
But
it
It's true.
I think with that, they also have Godzilla vs. Kong coming out in March. They have HBO shows, I'm pretty sure, that are coming through. So they are good with content. Netflix has a movie every week. So I think the only reason you're going to keep seeing this weekly release model, which I really don't like, is because they don't have the content. So as soon as Disney Plus gets to a level, I think they're going to start dropping things all at once.
Joseph,
So
I
also,
like
here's the
this.
thing. No,
I-
I'm talking. I don't care. Yousef, there's just everyone can go back in a second, but I just have one little thing. Whereas, the DC audience is very much divided, and you will need. It's very hard to strum up conversation there. But the Snyder DC fandom, like, quite literally willed the film into existence in the first place. They're going to talk about it like social media is definitely going to be full of Snyder Cut stuff. I don't think it's the type of thing that needs to be broken up to get conversation. It's going to be a lightning rod with or without the weekly release. So I think it'll just piss everyone off who've had to wait years of campaigning and waiting and hoping to then break it up into weekly. Like, that wouldn't go over well with me. I think you just release it as the whole thing. And, you know, HBO has a lot of shit. Like, they have a lot of stuff. They're really good with content. Like, I won't say Netflix level, but they're kind of getting there because they've so much stuff with all the movies and the TV shows. So they're good for having to not break it up. They don't need to do that. Anyway, you all go ahead.
Snyder is
I
a
was-
movie. Sorry, just
Yeah,
one last thing. Snyder
agree.
Cut is
No,
a
absolutely,
movie.
Yusuf.
Like, it is structured. It was made as a movie, so you can't break it up. Like, that's what happened with I forget, but there was something that they cut up and it wasn't well received because it doesn't.
Was it the Hobbit trilogy?
I'm thinking of something. I don't know what I'm thinking of, but like when you structure something as a movie and you don't release it as a movie, that creates a problem because this was created as a weekly show, and that's why you have the payoffs and you have the cliffhangers and everything. I don't think Snyder will have that. God forbid the first part of the Snyder Cut is bad.
I know what you're
and they
talking
release
about.
it weekly and it sucks. Yeah.
I remember what you're talking about. The Boys.
The Boys. Yeah. Thank you.
That was
Boys?
made.
Exactly.
That was
Well-
made
Binge show.
for a binge show.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then Amazon
Oh,
decided,
yeah.
because obviously 2020 had gone to shit,
Hmm.
let's release it weekly. Let's treat everyone. And look at the backfire the Boys got.
But it
I've got
ultimately
three
comes
things
down
to
to the
say.
boys.
How many
I've-
1-star
I've got-
reviews does the Boys have on Amazon?
It's got a
Yeah,
lot
but
of
Liam, that worked
out.
fans. Those fans are, you know, they don't understand what a hard, difficult decision Amazon was in, because, you know, who looks at their subscribership? I don't know, but it was a good show to have it weekly. It was a slow burn at first. I think it was well done.
No.
Mandalorian, that should have been bingeable. I agree with
No,
Ben.
I disagree with that.
Wait.
I
I
disagree.
I
disagree
agree
too.
with Ben that, you know, if they break up Snyderverse, the Snyder Cut movie into weekly episodes, I'm going to kill them because
Hey!
not really.
Wow.
Because, you know, it's a movie. We were promised that it was a movie. And with Yusuf, I agree to some extent that, you know, they have to do this because they don't have enough content for WandaVision, for their Disney stuff. And that's why they need WandaVision to have it every week. And I agree with that. If that was a bingeable show, I mean, like, I would get spoilers when I wake up from, you know, out of my bed, knowing what exactly happened at the end. You know, that's why I like the weekly episode, so I can just get on with it at my own pace rather than having to stay up at 8 a.m. to watch all of it.
I think
Exactly. And if you no, go ahead.
No,
Anthony.
just I think it comes down to what's the creator's intention. Obviously, they're making WandaVision with like the intrigue and the mystery. It's supposed to be watched weekly. Mandalorian, it was like the character of the week, weekly. Zack Snyder wants to make this a movie. He always wanted to make a movie. And honestly, whatever he wants to do with this, we waited 5 years for it. Let him decide. And if he wants 4 hours, then that's what it should be. It's up to him.
You're goddamn right, it's up to him. Okay, any other final thoughts on WandaVision?
How did a review on WandaVision end up into an argument on Justice League?
Because
I
Joseph
brought up
DC.
thought
No,
it should have
that's
been
Justice
bingeable.
League's power right there. That's Zack Snyder's power. That's DC's power. Restore the Snyderverse. Tag so-and-so Walter Hamada, fucking asshole. All right,
Okay,
so
so
we're
don't
going to move
complain
on.
when no one
'cause we
talks
spent-
about it in 3 months.
when it's Zack Snyder Justice
Joseph,
League
they
week
have
here on the
literally
council,
spoke non-stop about it for 2 fucking years.
Yeah.
What makes you think in 3 months they're not going to continue speaking about it?
No, I mean, it's going to be
What
trending
happened?
in 3 months.
What did he
They
say?
Yes,
That's all I'm
of
asking.
course. The
Snyder
most
fans-
popular shows are
Snyder
Netflix shows, and they were released all at once. So it's not like
Exactly.
they're not gonna they're disappearing. Like,
And look at the Queen's Gambit. That's been out since October, and people are still
Yes.
talking about it now.
To be honest, the Queen's
Snyder Cut
Gambit
is
is more of a, it's
That was like a
more
sleeper.
intellectually brilliant than what we're talking about. Just to
Well,
be
I know
honest with
that,
you.
but I'm just putting it out
I
there.
think Ben would
Shows can
disagree.
last.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Ben would disagree. I
Conversation
think
could-
he would say the Snyder Cut is intellectually brilliant.
Well, I think it
apparently.
is intellectually brilliant the way it dissects superheroes. However, I haven't not yet seen it based off of the Snyder's work. Yes, I'll make that assessment, but I haven't yet watched The Queen's Gambit. I'm saving that for a beautiful rainy day, and then I'm going to watch The Queen's Gambit, and it's going to be, yes, like, exactly.
It rains all the time. You should watch it like tomorrow.
Oh hey, thanks for watching. And remember, full episodes are available wherever you get your podcasts.
With new episodes Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, links in the description box.
And be sure to subscribe and hit that bell to stay caught up to date with the Council.
Boys, I'm excited.